bringing on our next guest. And uh, Rhonda, I believe you met this young lady.
Yes,
Um,
I did. She is
she
a
was on
beautiful
your
story.
Monday night show that you
Right.
do, and her name is Monique Clesca, and her book isn't out yet, but it will be coming out soon. And it's a memoir about her girlhood in Haiti, and the name of it is Silence and Resistance. So, Monique, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. And that little girl was me.
So, your book comes out next month,
Yes.
and you're promoting it in advance so we can make people aware of it, so they can pre-order or pick it up as soon as it comes out. And is this your first book, your memoir? Is it your first book?
No, it is not. And I want to really take the opportunity to say hello to Dr. Wanda, who I see online also. Thank you very much. No, it is in fact my third book. However, it is my first book in English. I've
Oh,
published a novel in French, and I published a book of essays also in French. And so this is my first book in English. Yeah, thank you.
okay. So is French the primary language of Haiti?
I would say French and Creole.
Okay.
Both of them, there is quite a lot of history around that because French was the primary language, not primary, was the official language for numerous years. And now that has been rectified since the democratic movement in 1987. And so now French and Creole are the main languages, but I would say Creole is the primary language. It is more the speaking language, and it is also the written language of most Haitians. So the majority does not speak French.
Now, when you were writing the book in English, is it a translation or was it originally written in English?
It was in English. And
Okay.
the reason I did this was because at the time I was living in New York. And when the earthquake happened, and I suffered from post-traumatic stress syndrome, eh, eh, one of the things that the psychologist who was treating me had recommended was writing. And so it was easier for me at the time to write in English. And then I decided also to take a writing course at the new school, and it was in English. So I started writing in English, and the professor asked me to be in a writing group, and that was in English. So it was just more natural for me to do it in English, to workshop in English, etc. And it just kind of followed that I said, you know what, I studied in English, let me just continue in English.
I think it's great that you did write it in English. And then we talked about this before, is that because you wrote it in English, I think that we as Americans, when we read the book, we're going to find that many struggles that we have here in the United States are not so different in other countries such as Haiti.
Absolutely. I think there are quite a few points. First of all, domestic violence is universal. And I speak about different aspects of domestic violence. And that happens everywhere. And that happens in the United States. And the United States being such a huge country, it has practically
Yes.
epidemic proportions, and it in all societies, whether we're talking Black Americans, white, Latinos, Native Americans, it is ubiquitous. So that is one aspect. Another aspect also that we can mention is, fascism in that I grew up under whereas the I can't say the death, the kind of the suppression of your rights, you not being able to speak. And I hear in reading a lot of what is going on these days in the United States. I can say that there are quite a lot of similarities when I see people being taken in the streets, children being separated from their parents by IC, etc. It brings back memories. These are triggering events. So there are things that are similar, very much so. And then the aspects of mothers leaving, the separation, family secrets, that is also universal. So there are quite a lot of similarities between, it's that's what it is about. It's a universal story.
So how long have you been in the United States?
It seems like forever. I came to the United States when I was 12 years old. And as you can see with my white
Okay.
hair now, I am now I am now 72. So it's
Oh,
been 60 years that I have been mostly in the United States, some of it in Haiti, a lot of it in Africa, throughout Africa, but the base has really been in the United States. I went to the university, Howard University
okay.
in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Then I
Mhm.
went to Northwestern University in near Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know the United States fairly well. So yeah, it's been 60 years that I've had a kind of love and sometimes, depending on who is president, hate relationship with the
Yes.
United States. But Washington, D.C. was my base. That's when I entered the United States. I went to what we used to call at the time Chocolate City.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, both Rhonda and I have some. I went to Georgetown, so I lived there for 6 years. I went to school for 4 and was there for 2 more after. And then, of course, Rhonda's there now in the
Mhm.
DMV. So,
Right.
um,
Yes.
yeah, I haven't been back to one. Every time seems like every time I plan to go back, something happens. The last time that I had planned to go, COVID happened. So that is
Yeah.
just took everything off the table. And
Well, it's
so
time to go now.
it is. I need to plan another trip. I'm looking at
Yeah,
next year because I have 3 or 4 places I want to go next year, and that's one of them. So um, I have to figure out. I'm gonna have to attach it to something, some an event or conference or something where I can do several things. Make a whole trip of it where I'm accomplishing several things at once because I
yeah,
don't know how often I'll be able to go back. So when I go, I want to stay there for several days so I can get some things done that I want to get done. So
very.
um, tell us a little bit about Haiti. Most of what we hear about Haiti is and I've been once, but it really wasn't Haiti proper because I went on a cruise and the cruise line uh, took us to Labadee, which is
Labadie. Yeah,
the private island, and but there were Haitian people there in a Haitian market selling their wares.
yeah,
So
Mhm.
that's when I real they told us that it was part of Haiti or attached to Haiti or not far from Haiti.
yeah.
But most of the news that we get, and news is a curious thing. Um, it only presents certain things about certain places.
Yeah.
And what
Okay.
we hear about Haiti is the government is unstable. I'm just doing it like an encapsulation.
Hmm.
Bad things happen frequently, and uh, including the earthquake. And normally, if there's a coup, I'm just giving you the encapsulation that the
Right,
mainstream media gives people.
right. Yeah,
There's a coup, and the government is overturned, and another group comes in, and takes over. Normally, it's, it's violent, and then they're there for a while, and then there's another coup. So that's what we see. That's what they tell us. So
Yeah.
tell us about Haiti as a native person from Haiti. Give
Okay.
us some.
Now, I believe there are several Haitis. The
Okay.
Haiti you went to is the northern coast, where there is a special area. It is not separate, and it really is not an island, but it is the northern coast of Labadie of Cape Haitian, which is the former colonial capital. Now, the other Haiti that you talked about is also a Haiti that exists because we have had quite a few unstable governments and sometimes coups d'etats. And Haiti, as an island, is very prone to natural disasters. There are
Oh,
several
yeah.
what you call techno a, earthquake zones throughout Haiti, whether it's in the north or in the south of Haiti. So that is also a Haiti with natural disasters as well as human-made disasters like the coup d'etats and the current crisis that we're going to. But there is
Mm,
also the Haiti that is the more solid Haiti, the more resistant type of Haiti, which is the Haiti where you had a people who really fought off a colonial regime, a Haiti with people who are deeply entrenched in their culture, a Haiti where you have writers, particularly French speaking writers, who've won prizes throughout the world. A Haiti where there is a vibrant musical a scene also, a Haiti that built its own religion from Africa that remained the voodoo religion, which is also extremely spiritual. So you have a Haiti that is extremely potent in terms of its agricultural products. Haiti has a chocolate. And recently I was in the market and I was able to buy chocolate from Haiti. Haiti
Wow.
also, in terms of agriculture, has a essence that makes some of the best perfumes in the world. So you do have a Haiti where you have an agricultural sector, even though it may be poor in many ways, but that does produce things, even though perhaps we cannot feed, we are not independent in terms of feeding ourselves. So you do have a resistant Haiti, a fighting Haiti, a cultural Haiti, a vibrant, a musically, as well as literature wise Haiti. So that is the Haiti that I take my inspiration from. And that is the Haiti that thrives in me. And that is the Haiti that thrives pretty much to the countryside. So one may hear that even today, with the huge crisis that we're living through with gangs takeover of the capital city, but you have in other areas children who are going to school, people who are fighting. So that is the resistant Haiti that to me is extremely significant, and it is kind of the mother earth of Haiti that I take my inspiration from.
It sounds like Haiti is a state of mind almost.
Yes, I think you got it right, Dr. Rhonda. Hate is a state of mind, and to me, it means really resistance in all the multiple facets that that resistance actually means. Because, for example, if I take where you went, Gwen Richardson, in the North, it is only because of pressure from the United States that they stopped the boats going, but boats were still going about 2 months ago. And then they said, well, wait a minute, you have a state of emergency in the capital and boats are still coming. So they said, okay, let us then just stop it. But basically, if the boats wanted to come, they could still go because in the northern area, there are international planes that are flying in and the boats could still be going. So you have different Haitis.
Okay.
The main area of the conflict is the capital city, the kind of a central area, and also the rice region, the Artibonite region. But the southern area is pretty much functioning, although I cannot say that economically things are very viable because Port-au-Prince as a central a place also impacts the fact that Port-au-Prince is having issues also impacts the rest of the country.
Hmm. Now, when was Haiti colonized? Was the trajectory of Haiti in terms of was there slavery there? Was it like mirroring what was happening in the United States from a historical standpoint?
Yes and no. There was slavery in Haiti. However, and I think that's where that is something very significant in the history of the world, is Haiti had the first slave revolt that succeeded in
Yes.
Hmm.
sending the colonial power, which was French, back home.
Is this the one that
And
was led by Toussaint Louverture?
exactly.
Yeah,
Toussaint
that
Louverture
was what I was
started
trying
leading
to
it.
remember.
Yeah, this
Hmm.
was a Toussaint Louverture started leading it, but
Okay.
Napoleon's troops set a trap for him. So he was sent in jail in France where he died. But then it was a coalition. So you had Dessalines, you had Pétion, and the Haitian resistance really managed to throw away the French colonial regime in 1804. And
Okay.
on the 1st of January, 1804, independence of Haiti was declared. However, and I think that is something that is significant, the colonial powers refused to recognize that Haiti was independent because they thought it would send a signal to Black folks in a Martinique, in Guadeloupe, in Curacao, in a Jamaica, and in other areas so that the slaves could rise up. So they refused to recognize Haiti's independence. And it took several years for them to do so. And it was not until actually past 1815 that they actually did this. Sorry, 1835 that they actually did this. And so there is a big restoration movement in Haiti, whereas the French ask us to pay back the fact that the white folks, the colonial people, actually lost their land. And so there is a huge restoration movement in Haiti trying to ask the French for payback, not only for slavery, not only for the colonialism, the suffering that we went through, but for what we call the debt that Haiti paid back to the colonizers. So there is a very rich history of Haiti of resistance and resistance that I believe is recognized throughout the Black world. And whenever I went to Africa, Haiti was also seen as like, it's a beacon. It's the first Black republic in the world.
Hmm.
So do you touch on a lot of this history in your book because your book is about family. And it takes place in Haiti. So do you draw on a lot of that history in the book?
I do and I don't. And the reason I say I do and I don't, it remains a personal, it is a memoir. It remains a personal, a family, universal history.
Mhm.
However, to set the tone in terms of what was happening, it was important to have to talk about that history. And my mother in particular was one who, wherever we were sitting in the car or waiting somewhere, my mother was a teacher, but whenever we sat somewhere or whenever we're passing a street, she would always say, well, this is the history. And she would tell us about this hero, a or this heroine or something like this. And it was important, at least in what I was living, because there was a fascist regime that was going on in Haiti at the time.
Mhm.
A lot of killing, people disappearing, and it was important to show that. And it influenced us. It influenced the way we live. You couldn't speak very loudly. Whenever people, outsiders came, you had to shut up because you thought maybe there were a spy who would tell somebody that, this family is talking bad about the regime. So perhaps less about the history, but about the politics of what was going on and the different regime and how it affected my family and the fear that we had. Sometimes we had to hide under the bed because there was shooting going on. So I do talk about that overall political climate that we lived under and the fear and the trauma that we lived with. And if I may tell a story, last week I found a woman who was my neighbor when I was little, and her
Wow.
father had disappeared. And I wanted to tell her about the book so somebody else would not have to tell her. So I actually talked to her for the first time in, I don't know how many decades, to tell her, I talk about your father disappearing and how it affected me throughout my life. And it was a bittersweet moment in that she said, I'm ordering 4 books because I have 3 children. So I'm ordering one for each one of them so they are aware of their history. And I got the impression that somehow this was a conversation that she had never had with her children. Maybe I'm
Mhm.
wrong, but the way she said it, it's important for them to know that history. I got the impression that maybe that's going to start a huge family conversation about
Mhm.
the grandfather and the father who disappeared and that nobody talked about for so many years.
You
Well,
know,
your book is probably going to be validation
mm,
that maybe without that, she didn't really have that much of the ability to share, you
Exactly.
know, but you writing about it gives like a second person, a second sighting of the situation that she can share with her
Yeah.
children.
Silence is kind of insidious, and
Yes.
right, right.
that's why the title of the book, because I decide to break the silence on so many things that affected me as a child, and some of them it took 50 years for me. Some of the secrets I learned about after 50 years and actually broke the silence of them. So I think this woman who I spoke to, my former neighbor, and she was somewhat older than me. She was more my sister's a playmate. But somewhere along the line, I think this is going to start conversations, and I hope that it will help with the healing because the book also is about healing. It is
Yes.
about, it's a reckoning, but it is about healing from all of these things that people didn't talk about. And it is also about my healing because I really went through the ringer, as they used to say, in writing the book, in trying to come out a whole after having discovered so many things, after having faced so many things and faced, for example, my mother in terms of why did you do this? Why didn't you tell us? So I think there is a lot of healing to be done. And all families have secrets. And
Right.
some
Right.
people don't tell them. And I think this is an important moment. And I hope that the book stimulates that kind of healing.
Well, very, very quickly, I'm really glad that you brought that up because we talked about that when we had our conversation before. And actually, somebody made a comment that they didn't feel that it was biblical for you to talk about your family secrets because we're supposed to honor our father and our mother. But if we don't talk about these things, then we don't give ourselves a chance to heal from them.
Exactly. And I think I am one who, and I think it is very anchored in the book, this aspect of family, this African concept of family. And I think there is a chapter in it where my grandmother actually says, bring my grandchild to me. And I think it is honoring the legacies of our forefathers to actually, it is your own. And you cannot reject your own, and you cannot not know what is your own family. And it is important to build bridges. And so it is very much in the tradition of honoring mothers and fathers and seeking truth and seeking grace. And I think it is important also, it is not done in a bad, mean, derogatory way. It is done in a way of seeking the truth to heal and
Yes.
seeking the truth so you can have some grace to continue on with your life.
Right. Yeah,
Well, on
the
that note,
difference.
we do have to, yeah, we do have to end because we've reached the end of the segment. I think that's what you were about to say, Gwen.
Well, I was going to also say that there's a difference between something done maliciously and
Right.
something that's
Exactly.
done to try to help
Respectfully.
and
Yeah.
heal
Exactly.
and still respect. So, your book is called Silence and Resistance: A Memoir of a Girlhood in Haiti, and it will be
Yes.
out in a month in September on September 16th. So, you all go online and pre-order your copy, and
Please.
it's by Monique Clesca.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Gwen, and thank you so much, Dr. Wanda. Thank you.
Thank you. You very,
Thank
very
you. It was a
interesting. We
pleasure.
got to learn a lot about Haiti and the history of the country.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
great
wonderful
night.
evening. God
Bye
bless
bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.